Sports. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the New York Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. From the 6. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent. He's been all season.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Cook. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first quarter lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 76 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line is going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the
Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. Here's the Jets punter now. as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone.
And that is caught. And the record is his. It's a touchdown. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, called it the 21. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wildcard spots with 2 weeks to go. But you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Robinson's got it. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Throwing, Cook. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. And Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
Now a play fake here on first down. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Schmidt.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Well, the most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 0-1, right? Raiders, Patriots, just send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
You had to go to the Tuck roll, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's one people remember, but I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game. In New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Was that 82?
That was 82, and the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great effort there, taking it in, and the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, Beasley fighting his way through contact. And he'll have a Jets first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Looking to throw. Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give them a good 10 yards on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
On 1st and 10, Cook going deep for Hopkins. And this is caught. Touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Extra point forthcoming. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Harris now to throw on 3rd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. Finding room to the 20. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A big play there for the Dolphins.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw on second down, Harris. Over the middle, complete. That's Cox. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Short completion, just 4. Yards, and they're going to have a third down. They'll try the left side. It's Cox, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 24.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And to give this time to the tailback. And stepped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Partner, in our years together, we've never really run into a player that's admitted a doubt or a lack of confidence, right? But right now, I'm just wondering about that interior line because on defense, they're starting to get manhandled at the point of attack. Do they have it in them to figure a way to reverse the tide? Because right now, they're running the ball at will.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench into what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
And this will be incomplete. Both players with a shot at it that time, but neither coming away with it.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just hoping for number 4. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 18-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. First down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it. Now they're just hoping to cap it off. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will. And they give this time to the tailback. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. New York ready to go again offensively. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Back to throw. Harris. Throw left side complete. That's Stanley. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that's going to make it 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And taken right at the 35. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm, throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 49 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And New York set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone...
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's second down. Operating from the gun, Harris. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They run the counter. Rhodes. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the 27. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. To throw is Cook on 1st and 10. Going deep for Hopkins. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the route is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where it was the Eagles who were able to swoop in and get the road victory. The Eagles have punched their ticket to the playoffs as they up their mark to 11-4 with the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game, and it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. The Rams, with the victory, give themselves a chance at an above 500 season as they move to 7-8 with 2 games to go. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens with a good performance there as they get...
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each...
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On second down now, it's Turner, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at about the 28. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So now here come the Dolphins. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
With the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now a 2nd down and 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 70 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material. Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Frank, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches.
Let's go, let's bring it, let's bring it. 58, boys, 58, 58, Mike.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
Here we go. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Watch time. Tight end right. Even, 4 down, even.
They run the counter now on 1st down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Check tight end, check tight. Check tight.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Good job over there, baby. I see y'all. Good job over there, baby.
With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Let's go now. Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Check me out, check me out. 58, boys, 58, 58, it's Mike. It's a party now. It's a party now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now, these two division rivals, a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Let's go, B, let's go.
Looking to throw. Harris. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taking it about the 16, and he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They are... Just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. 106 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
Tackle. 58, right over there, yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Turner. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They run the counter now on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 94 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Dolphins are moving closer to a 15-0 record as they extend their lead here. Point after here coming up. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. taken at about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a couple. Second down and 8. Back to throw. Harris. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Jets on third down. The struggle has been real. They have had ample opportunities. They've yet to cash one in. This will be 3rd and 5. And he is going to have a Jets first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Back to throw again. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
This is brought in at the 21. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
That gives it.
He's a linebacker. You can't run him over. Are you kidding me? That's the best you can do? Are you fucking kidding me? Blow that motherfucker up. Jesus Christ.
98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit credited him with a 1-yard gain there.
What the fuck are you doing? Where are you going? What is this? What is that?
To make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
And Viking 18. Let's be true. 58 to mine. Panther 60. Panther 60. 3 buns.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in at the 3. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Not much there, only a yard. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.